All right, what are we talking about today, guys?
Really?
You know, you have to bring it to a boil. You're making like poop soup.
Is my tea ready? Oh my god!
Shoot. Fucking shoot.
You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
It's time for full disclosure.
What kind of self-aggrandizing bullshit is this?
Give it up for Eric Berry.
All right, you guys, this is Full Disclosure. I am Eric Berry, and we're on FCC Free Radio. Got another full house tonight. We have across from me Jess.
Is my mic on this time?
We hope so.
Awesome. Hi.
And then on the couch, returning, we have Ben Kolina.
Hello, everybody.
And kind of his first time on this podcast, Matt Louv.
Not at all the first time. It was in your bedroom last time.
Well, that was the Eric Show, the podcast. This is Full Disclosure. Same theme, though.
Okay. I'm sure it'll be radically different.
Yes. I am exceptionally hungover. Jess, I know you're in the same boat.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm worried I might throw up at some point during this show, which would make for good radio.
Would it? I'm pretty sure that's the worst sound in the world.
Short circuit the soundboard here. But yeah, I didn't eat anything till an hour ago, and then I ate sausage that I think was severely undercooked. So I don't know if that's gonna help or hurt the situation. But yeah, did you guys catch the Super Bowl yesterday?
I did. It was hard for me.
Yeah.
Being a lifelong Niner fan and growing up with the notion that like the football season isn't over until your team plays in and wins the Super Bowl.
Right.
And the fact that they were in there, I was like, oh, they'll win. They'll just win like somehow.
Yep.
And then, yeah, they didn't win. So
Yeah.
it's a new feeling for a 49er fan to lose the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it was pretty like, I mean, at least the game got good at the end.
Yeah, it seemed like that's how they play, though. They did that in every other playoff game where they had to come from behind.
Yeah.
And it was a lot more that they had to come from behind, and obviously it was like too much this time. But
Yeah.
I don't know. They'll be good. They'll be back. They're a good team.
Who was I talking to? I was talking to my buddy, and he's like, it seemed like if there were just 5 more minutes left in the game, like the way it was going, they would have won.
Yeah.
You know? But I don't know.
Or even if they would have got that one pass interference call. But I don't know. We might be boring everyone with sports minutia.
No, actually, I was on the bus. I was on the Greyhound for the entire game, and so I was following it on Twitter, and like it just seemed insane, like a blackout. I heard something about a blackout. What was that all about?
The Illuminati.
Yeah.
The Beyonce.
Anonymous.
She was letting everyone know.
And what was the final score? I haven't actually acquired that information.
It was... I can't...
They took the safety. It was 31.
Yeah, it was
34-31.
Yeah, that was what it was. I just remember that it was a 3-point difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The funny thing to me is that during the blackout, like the commentators having to kind of make the same kind of fluff, you know, like explanations of the game, but then applying that towards why the power might be out.
Yeah, the weird thing for me was when I was watching the game, it felt like that Dodge commercial with the farmer stuff. That felt longer than the blackout to me.
Right.
They were both long, but to me that was like, oh man, this is really going on forever.
Yeah.
Like,
Was that different than the Budweiser commercial with the horse?
you know, somehow I missed that one completely. I don't know. I changed locations right before the halftime show. I watched the first half with my dad, you know, like with the family, and then the second half with my friends, so I could like drink and, you know, be ridiculous. And a part of that was I planned on going out partying after the game and celebrating a victory, but that turned out not to be. But you know,
Jess, you're taking Incredible Hulk pills.
I am taking Incredible Hulk pills. So I'm poor. I have no money, and I'm doing this research study on the way we digest food. And so I'm taking these, my friend Jason calls it gut glitter. And it's little radio markers that are going to show my digestive tract from the beginning to the end. And it's pretty awesome. It's like these little round circle things that you shake in a little gel capsule. It's neat. I go in for an x-ray in 2 days. It's going to be awesome.
What happens if you get the diagnostic back and you have the Prince logo as your intestines.
That would be amazing. I actually a little worried. I was like, what if they're just like, well, the good news is we can totally use you for our study. The bad news is you have cancer. Like, I'm slightly nervous. This has been a long time since I've had a physical, and I've never had any sort of scan done on the midsection of my body. So it's like, oh, we'll see where this goes. I might have like alien eggs living
So they're
inside of me.
They're paying you though for this study.
They are.
Can I ask? Is that good money?
No.
No.
I actually, the reason I found it in the first place was because I was looking up something completely unrelated, and I was like, oh, this applies to me. I should donate my body to science and medicine. And they're like, we'll give you $100. I was like, even better.
Yeah. Yeah, being poor, there's a lot of stuff we'll do for money.
There is.
Crazy how the world works, right?
Oh, what did you think of the, did you find the Volkswagen Jamaican commercial? Was that offensive? Sorry, I'm going back to Super Bowl commercials.
Nah.
I didn't
don't
really
know.
get,
There was a Jar Jar Binks factor there, I suppose, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like as soon as you just do an accent of like a group that, at some point has been oppressed, I don't understand. It becomes
Well, I guess
offensive.
the idea is that they're inherently happy because of their accent, but like, I don't know if that would really be like socially and economically bore out by like history.
Sure.
But it's I guess it's a fun sounding accent,
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess
I don't think it was so much the accent as that they had him saying incredibly stupid shit.
In a commercial?
Yeah.
But that could have just been because he was a white guy.
Very true.
Yeah.
In corporate America,
Yeah.
which
Dulcet tones.
No worries, man. Everything.
But anyway, so you guys are here. All right, that was weird. I'm playing my voice.
Do you just listen to your own
Yeah.
voice
Yes.
in the background at all times?
Yeah.
Old episodes?
It's the new fucking iTunes thing where you can't play just one thing. It bleeds into the next.
That's the worst thing I've ever heard of.
Yeah, man.
Don't fret me, brother. Sticky bun come soon.
Yeah. Wicked coffee, Mr. Jim. Julia, turn the frown the other way around.
Hey, Dave, you're from Minnesota, right?
Yes, the land of 10,000 lakes. The Gopher State.
So, in conclusion, things are pretty dismal.
You know what this room needs? A smile.
Well, you get the gist.
That was one of the only commercials I've ever seen that didn't annoy me.
Actually, the best commercial I saw all day yesterday was in the morning. I got up to watch English soccer match that was on that morning, and I saw a commercial during the pregame that was Dikembe Mutombo just blocking all different kinds of shots. Like it would be like a little kid throwing a box of cereal into a shopping cart, and he just smashes it to pieces and like wags his finger at the kid and says, "Not today," and like that. That was better than anything I saw during the Super Bowl.
That's pretty good. You guys see the insane
Clown
dude
posse?
who
Clown posse?
hatcheted open another guy's head?
Oh, it is an insane clown
No.
posse thing, right?
Yeah.
No?
So I guess like some
I did see
drifter.
It's always a drifter.
But here's the thing: is he's like this like stoner surfer drifter.
Yeah.
We have them all over Haight Street, kind of like train hoppers. And saw another guy get pinned by a car, and then proceeded to hatchet open the head of the guy that drove in to the guy. But the police let him go for, I don't know.
What?
It's pretty...
And they show the guy hatcheting the...
No. This is the interview with him.
I'm one of the heroes.
Yeah. Can we talk to you? Do you mind?
What do you want to talk about?
What happened today? You well?
Well, went straight out of Dogtown, skateboarding, surfing it up. Before I say anything else, I want to say no matter what you've done, you deserve respect. Even if you make mistakes, you're lovable. And it doesn't matter your look, skills, or age, or size, or anything, you're worthwhile. No one could ever take that away from you. Now, this stuff right here, I was driving and I was in the passenger side of this fucker's car, and he comes over on there. He was over by the recycling center. He says, oh, when I was in the Virgin Islands, 30 years old on a business trip, I fucked this 14-year-old. I was like, you what? He's like, I raped this 14-year-old, starts crying, gives me a big hug. He's like fucking 300-pound guy. I'm like, oh shit, he must be fucking, man. Like, what's he talking about? I didn't take him seriously at first. He comes driving down this way. He's like, you know what? I come to realize I'm Jesus Christ and I can do anything I fucking want to. And watch this, right. Bam! And he smashed into this fucking guy right there, pinned him in between that fucking truck. And so I hop out. I look over, the guy's pinned there. I mean, like, freight train riders know this. Like, if you get pinned between something, do not fucking move that shit, otherwise you bleed out. Like, motherfucker, I ran in, I grabbed the keys, he's fucking sitting there like nothing even happened. And like, fucking, like, man, if you started driving that car around again, man, there would have been a hell of a lot of bodies around here. Fucking, I hop on out, and so I grabbed the bag, I threw it over by that pole right there, and then fucking buddy gets out, and these two women are trying to help him. He runs up and he grabs one.
He ends up saying he's like from West Virginia or something. Doesn't exactly sound like it, but
the man, like a guy that big can snap a woman's neck like a pencil stick. So I fucking ran up behind him with a hatchet, smash.
You know, he just happened to have a hatchet on him.
Yeah.
Smash, smash. Yeah.
The lady said you saved her life.
She was the one who got grabbed by that fucker. You know what? Fuck is cool. That guy ain't. Shit.
There.
That guy ain't.
Lesson being that if you kill people, you'll become a meme.
Right.
Fast track to auto-tuning.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet, but it's got to be on its way.
I'm sure it's there.
I forgot to mention, we're going to have a porn star, Alia Janine, on in about 15 minutes.
You're just going to pull up her video?
No, we're gonna both. We're gonna have her call in and we'll watch some of her fucking. But how's this is, you know, ostensibly a sex podcast. How are things going, Matt? You were mentioning off air that you're off the sauce.
I'm off the sauce.
Yeah, I found when I've tried that, it's death to my dating life.
Well, I didn't really have a dating life in the first place, so. No harm, no foul.
What led to you backing off of it?
Just deciding that it's poison and that it slowly kills you and that I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Which you can't say because you sound sanctimonious. Also, when you tell people that you don't drink, they assume that you're an alcoholic.
Right.
So I just don't tell people.
That was the biggest when I stopped drinking for a couple months, and it was for no other reason than I wanted to. I like set goals that I had to accomplish within that time. I couldn't drink until I accomplished a certain set of goals. And one of those goals was to get a girlfriend. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't have been further from that happening than when I gave up drinking. Because, like you said, you go out to a bar and you're having a Diet Coke or whatever. And then if it ever comes up...
And then you hear the things that the other person is saying.
Yeah.
And you're not charmed by them.
You remember...
And you can't force yourself into making a poor decision. Yeah, your dating life really suffers.
But like, girls will look at you. Yeah, either you're an alcoholic or you're like a creepy sober guy who's going around hitting on drunk girls.
Right, like the guy that shows up to the yoga class but doesn't do yoga.
Yeah, just stares, licking his lips in the corner.
Right. But that's like what the drinking culture is. If you don't drink, then you're weird until proven otherwise.
Right.
Which is part of my reluctance to continue doing it.
But was it New Year's Day or?
No, there wasn't even some sordid event that led to it. It was just like, what it was I was considering doing mushrooms for the first time. Okay. And I was reading all of the possible health consequences on the internet and being so meticulous about it and scrutinizing them so carefully. And there really are none, but I was so academic about it and circumspect. And I just realized it's like the roster for the health consequences of alcohol is like 3 pages long, and everyone knows that it gives you cancer and destroys your liver and leads you to do dumb shit. So
I think if it didn't help lead to fucking, it wouldn't be regarded or legal. You know, like, I think that's pretty much it. That's you when you wanna meet a girl, you say you want to grab a drink or something like that. You don't usually say, do you want to trip on mushrooms?
Yeah.
You could.
But that's true, though. It's like, you know, people need it to talk to each other, which is part of the sadness. Like, I'd rather just learn how to finally talk to people than, like, dope myself up with fucking poison to get to do it.
Yeah, it's... it was one of those things for me because I didn't start drinking till I was a sophomore in college, and I went from being super uncool to like much cooler, and then recently to like way less cool than I've ever been. Like, you know, I don't know, I peaked. But so that's had no effect on your dating life.
Not really. I mean, I'm not drunkenly chasing red herrings and people I don't have anything in common with. So, in that way, actually, it has made my life better.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. What about you, Ben? You drink, yeah?
Oh yeah, I do. I appreciate what you're saying about the mushrooms though, because it is one of those things where like I'm kind of that way with substances where I have to know as much as I can about it, and with alcohol it is kind of the thing of like the less I can focus on the things that I know about it, the more I can enjoy it. But I try to limit my drinking to like once like heavily a fortnight or like once a week, at most. But I mean, it's still very occupational when you're doing comedy stuff. Like, yeah, especially like I'm setting up a showcase, and every time I go to like talk to the venue, I just end up just drinking beers. They just really have some beers, Yeah. And especially if you go on the road, people just give you drinks. It's great. It can be, but it also, yeah.
It's one of those things where, especially if you're poor or like I said, I didn't start drinking until later. You feel like this might be like your last opportunity. You're like, what? Like a free drink? How am I gonna turn that down? Like, when's the next time I might get a free drink offered to me again? And then it just ends up being all the time. But
Lydia,
happens.
come over here. Walk to grandma.
So this is video of a couple, and they're filming their child's first steps, and they happen to have like I don't know what kind of dog it is, but
To
like
the chair.
it's a small
Just
one.
walk somewhere.
Chihuahua or something.
No, Mom.
You really need to see this, but dog starts taking shit right by the baby. It's just taking its first steps. And,
No, Lydia,
no. Baby falls on the shit.
The fact that was caught on camera though
No,
is
Lydia,
pretty
ew.
perfect.
Yeah, I feel like that kid's just screwed from the start, like just luck wise.
Yeah.
Like if your first steps end with you in a pile of shit, like how's the rest of it gonna go?
Well, I was talking about that, like these kids that they're put, their parents put their videos of them online, and it's cool and funny, and they become viral now. But like, what is middle school going to be like for these kids? That one's not even that bad. I mean, that's just funny and whatever. But like when you put like the socially maladjusted child on YouTube and they become a sensation for that.
Did you hear about what happened to Star Wars Kid?
No.
He had so much trauma as a consequence of his exposure that he sued. He sued the guy who released the video and won the lawsuit. I think I'm remembering that correctly.
Wasn't it his like dad or like?
No, it was a friend of his. Not even a friend. It was just some guy who found
Filming
the video
him in his garage?
the AV room.
Okay.
No, it was in the AV studio at school.
Okay.
And some other kid released it on the internet and ruined the guy's life.
Wait, so I missed out on this. What video? What
Star Wars
happened?
Kid? You haven't seen Star Wars
Yeah,
Kid?
it's like an epic, like classic.
was, like, right when
it's
YouTube-
a kid.
Yeah.
It's pretty heavily spoofed on Arrested Development. If you ever watched that show, where they have like a lot of clips of George Michael, pretending a broom is a lightsaber. But it was essentially that. It was just like an awkward, nerdy kid kind of acting out Star Wars with a broom.
Yeah, it's like the Citizen Kane of internet memes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So the last week, and I don't really know what inspired it, but I started watching some piss drinking and shit eating videos.
All right, yeah.
Okie doke, you've run out of things to do? Run out of things to
I
learn?
really have to up the ante more and more, but...
You've read all the books.
So, I don't know. It's an interesting, like do you guys have any kinks or anything that, might be...
That's not even a kink, dude. That's a pathology of some kind.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to figure out, like, and it wasn't like for me it wasn't really erotic, but it was interesting. I'm trying to find the pit. Like I don't care if they were spilling water all over her. I don't know how she consumed that much liquid. You know. I know.
I know exactly what you mean.
I'll pull it up.
Oh man, these are the times when I just stay on the couch.
I love. You could have just asked, "Do you have any kinks?"
I wanted to.
You didn't have to preface it with, "I watch shit and piss videos."
Yeah. That was a fantastic segue, though. By the way, they pick up this lull. Talk about this interesting piss drinking video I saw the other day.
It's like because I try to post stuff like this on.
Oh God, no! I'm not gonna watch your piss video, dude.
Well, I want to watch it again.
You try to post this on Facebook, and what is it?
It won't let.
Yeah, account suspended.
But Twitter doesn't care.
Yeah,
there's so much piss going in her mouth. She just swallowed a bunch of it. I don't know how these guys piss that much.
I just like you
because I can hear a waterfall.
Yeah.
I don't know how you drink that. Yes, watch.
Schwanzbiss in den Mund reinmachen?
That's okay.
Huh?
Mund zupacken weg.
No, I'm trying to coordinate.
I don't care if she drinks a third of that piss. That's a lot of piss.
How does this happen every episode? We just watch you watch porn.
Yeah. Well, a couple weeks ago, Nick didn't. Do you know what an episiotomy is?
No.
Oh, I was here for that.
Is that where you pee in someone's mouth?
Okay.
I was on the couch looking at the back of your computer.
Ben can stay on the couch again. This should just be like a way that we,
it's
what do you call it? De-virginize our guests.
Because we're virgins.
You are for these videos.
We're so vanilla, having never seen shit and piss videos.
Oh, good. It did autocorrect. Okay. Are you prepared to watch this?
No.
I have to actually click that I'm of age.
It's very tastefully scored. I gotta say this is quite a background.
A midline incision may be made to enlarge the vaginal opening.
When a woman gives birth,
delivery,
you were talking about this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Her perineum, between the area, her taint will split open frequently from the head coming out, and so they proactively slice the area between her butthole and the vaginal canal.
Everything going okay?
Laceration. After satisfactory
These are the types of
anesthesia
this is what I
is
do to
given,
pass the time
scissors
during
incise the midline perineum, stopping before the anus.
Oh.
You're on your own on that video.
All right. Yeah. Well, I did that. This is different than the last one, though, and I do like the tasteful score.
It's very masterpiece theater. It's Downton episiotomy.
So you guys don't like what's the question remains? Do you guys have any kinks or like what's like something that you're embarrassed about in the bedroom?
Honestly, I really can't think of anything. Like, I mean, but I'm not just as a cover, like because I'm embarrassed and I don't want to divulge something. Really, like, I think most of my stuff is pretty by the book, you know?
Yeah.
I get called vanilla a lot.
Yeah.
Do you?
And it's the dumbest insult I can even think of. Like,
well, why? First of all, why do you say what's your kinks or what are you embarrassed about in the bedroom? They're not synonymous. And vanilla, why would that be an insult?
Because it's like the burden of justification isn't on me. There's not a burden of justification on anybody for why they do what they do. But it's this pejorative thing that is said by people to like as a put down of like, well, you must be repressed if you don't like my fist going up your butthole. Like that's, and it's just like I like this sounds really corny. I like emotional connection. I like it when I like the person, and I like the shared experience. And I don't need trappings. I don't need gadgets. You know.
That's fine, but I mean, do you think that you can't have the sensuality and the emotional connection while you're fisting a girl in the ass?
I'm a little,
this is love.
I'm a little bit skeptical.
All right,
call me old-fashioned.
Yeah, I don't know. I like all. I mean, I've never fisted a girl in the ass, but
no,
not.
Well,
I'm not morally opposed to it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, Jess.
Yes.
All right. Do you have anything that you are embarrassed about in the bedroom?
Oh, that's an excellent question. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I get embarrassed sometimes after I come.
Why?
Well, especially if I'm the only one. that I'm like, oh, yeah.
You get embarrassed when you're alone in your room and you come?
No. When there's someone
This
else,
is
when there's
awkward.
someone else there observing, I'm like, yeah, I just made all those noises and said those things. What about it? Shut up. Look the other way now. God damn it. But no, like, I think everybody has that after they come, right? Did you have that moment of realization where you're just like, oh, damn, the shit that came out of my mouth?
I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, it's
yeah, like when you say I love you.
Oh my God, I said that when I lost my virginity and I didn't mean it. It was just so great. I was like, I love you. No, I love that. I love that. Let's just do that more often. And totally caught myself. Didn't mean it. Just, it was bad. I had to watch after that. But the sex was really, really, really good.
Yeah. Did they eventually find out that you didn't mean it?
Well, they knew right away. They thought it was hilarious that I could not control the shit coming out of my mouth at the time.
All right, we're gonna get Alia on here in a minute, but as we do, we are going to watch some more porn featuring. I am going to watch more porn featuring. It is weird, like I actually, because I was researching her for tonight. And
research.
I was, but
Very academic
at the library.
But then I did end up using it as material, and I'm like, this is weird, like, because you're so removed when you watch like porn from the people involved with it, and then you're like, nope, we're gonna be talking on the phone in an hour. So anyway, this is the setup to this is that Alia and a man are making out. In a house, and they're supposed to be soccer coaches, and a girl from the
rival teams or the same team?
It's like a Romeo and Juliet thing.
Well, but one of the players who was too embarrassed to try out comes over, and they tell her that she can get on the team if they fuck each other.
He pees in her
Of
mouth.
course,
doesn't he?
yeah. But it's roughly the same plot as Ladybugs.
So, yeah.
So that sounds more like ping pong than soccer.
Have you guys ever had to do anything like sorted to advance your careers or get on the soccer team ever?
Open mics?
Yeah.
True. All right. Well, if you want to find this video of Alia, you can go to xhamster.com. And then search for Alia Janine or Couples Seeking Teens, Alia Janine and Jesse Rogers. It's pretty good. I recommend it.
Recommend it? 3 thumbs up.
All right.
Just 1 thumb up.
1 thumb up. Frowny face.
Hello?
Alia?
Yes.
Hey, it's Eric.
Hello.
Hey, you're on the air right now. So you got me here, and you have Jess sitting across from me.
Hello.
You got Ben on the couch.
Hello.
Hello.
And Matt here.
Hello, guy on the couch. I'm not going to remember anything but the dude on the couch.
Oh,
yeah.
There you go.
Couch guy.
So, so how's it
Jess
going?
from across from you.
What was that?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. Did you were you at the AVNs?
No, I was not. No.
Have you
not
been
even
before?
a little bit. I have. I went last year.
Okay.
Or technically the year before. I went because I got paid to sign, so that's why I went. And I walked the red carpet, and then I left. I didn't go to the show or anything like that. Not really my thing, I guess.
So for people who, might not be familiar with your background and stuff, how did you get involved in pornography, and where are you from and all that good stuff? Hello?
Did we disconnect?
Hello? Alia? Uh-oh. All right, let me try calling her back. Failed because of a network problem. This is the kind of stuff you can't edit out when you're live on the air.
Well, that's all right. I'll come up with something good to say.
Yeah, Ben can be Alia.
Well, you know, it was hard at first. You know. Oh, cool. We get it back. Yeah.
Hello.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Well,
Did you hang up on me?
no. We couldn't. You cut out. We couldn't hear you.
It said that I was still talking to you.
Yeah, sorry.
So I basically just talked to myself for like the past few minutes.
Well, so what's?
Awesome. I do that all the time, actually.
Sure.
Like, who doesn't talk to themselves? But, you know, not that way, at least.
So I was just asking, like, how you got your start in pornography.
Oh, I was a dancer in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where I'm from. And I wanted to go to school
Was this
for
jazz?
teacher dance.
Jazz dancing?
Jazz dancing. I used to do jazz dancing, but no. This is, today someone called it pole dancing, but I just prefer to use the word stripper because that's what I did. I took my clothes off for dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Or clothing removal technician is a good, proper way to say it.
Sounds very technical.
Yeah, exactly. So I did that for like 6 years. I went to school for police science, so I have a degree in that. But I just like dancing for money because it's way more fun than getting shot at.
Sure.
I moved to Florida.
When you're a stripper, is there like is there a hierarchy amongst the strippers, and is that ever based upon your actual dancing technique, or is it how much?
Oh yeah, no, there is definitely like a hierarchy of strippers. Definitely, you have. Yeah, it's hard to explain. Like I was friends. Like the club I used to work at back home, it's the Silk chain. They have Silk Milwaukee, Silk Juneau.
Feel like we lost you again. Huh? Oh Lord. Hey, Alia, if you can hear me, I'm gonna try calling you back from a landline, and I've never done that before.
Are we blaming this on Skype?
Yeah, this is the internet connection. This is Google Talk, actually. But
do you want to be Alia? You want me to be Alia?
Yeah, but I want to be the one from the 90s.
From the 90s?
Yeah, the singing
What's
one.
Tracy Lords like? The singer.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Not porn star Aaliyah.
What's R. Kelly
early in her
like
career.
would have been a more applicable question for that Aaliyah.
Yeah. So, Aaliyah, is there a hierarchy among strippers?
Yeah, you really got to establish dominance early.
What are other funny words for being a stripper?
Hooch flapper.
Okay, I'm gonna try. We're calling you from a landline. I'm gonna try and make this work, and hopefully we'll hang up on you. Hello?
Hello.
Are you there?
I am here. I'm right here.
Yeah.
She's trapped in the amp.
Okay. Where is she coming from? Oh, this is horrible, you guys. Alia?
Yeah, I'm still here.
I know, but sorry, we're just trying to turn it up so we can hear you. And every time we do that, it kills our ears here. Let me try one more thing here. Again, I'm really sorry for this.
No, it's okay. I'm sorry that my internet went down, apparently.
We can like barely hear you. Like I can't understand what you're saying.
Oh, no. How about now?
Oh, it's better.
Can you hear me now? Is that better?
With the monitor in here.
Well, 1, 2, check, 1, 2.
I can ask you questions, man.
Yeah.
So, is there a hierarchy of bearded stand-up comedians?
Yeah, it's based on who's ovulating at the time.
Okay.
'Cause that allows us to make better jokes.
Better jokes?
There is a study about that, about how apparently the strippers that are currently ovulating make more money than the strippers that aren't. I read that.
So I can hear Alia. Only I can hear you, and I guess this is just. I'm gonna read.
This is just like before.
Let me try calling you from my cell phone, and if that doesn't work, I'm really sorry. We'll try and figure this out and have you back.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, I'm gonna give you one more call from my cell phone.
Okay.
Okay. How many shows can I go and have a technical issue happen in a row? So far, the answer is 5.
You need to get one of those boards that like X amount of days without injury.
X amount of days without water sports.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
So, all right. So, where were we?
Stripper
we were
hierarchy.
talking about strippers.
Yeah, stripper hierarchy.
Yeah.
So, what determines that?
I don't really know because I was the main bitch at like most of the clubs that I worked at. I didn't know how much. I don't know how much of my answer that you heard. I mean, it was a great answer. Did you hear any of it?
I don't think we did.
At the strip club that I used to work at back home in Wisconsin, it's the Silk chain, Silk Exotic. I'm really good friends with like all the owners. I know like the owners' parents. I hang out with the bartenders, the DJs. My best friend. So like if they wanted a girl fired or something like that, like just, just being shady, I would like somehow just get in trouble, like pick a fight with her, and then they would fire her, and I would just go about my business. Some girls, like at that club, they had VIP rooms, so the bouncers would tend to, hook up the girls that tipped more. So it's pretty much just about like money and who you know, which is pretty much in any business, I think.
Right. And then when did that transition to porn happen, and what inspired that?
Well, I had moved to Florida to start future dancing, like a future dance school there. And there was a girl that I had worked with back home, and she had worked for the Score Group, which is scoreland.com. They're a big bus site. And she said that I should try that. It would be really good for credits for future dancing, to have magazine credits and stuff. And I was never into doing porn, like it was never even a thought in my head. But when I went to work with the Score Group to just do like solo stuff, they really wanted me for their movie Mamazon, which was the first movie that I did. And
what was the name of that again?
Mamazon.
Nice.
Like Amazon, but Mamazon for mammary glands. Yeah. Clever.
I wish I could get a job doing names.
And then they just kind of talked me into it. I'm like, okay, I've done a bunch of crazy stuff before. So if I don't like it, I would have at least this one awesome movie, and I could say that I did a porno. But I ended up really liking it, and I made a bunch of money doing it. So I just stuck with that. And I danced a couple of times here or there, but I kind of got bad knees because I'm older. So I just gave up on the dancing now.
A lot of the marketing, around your like porn persona is around being like a MILF. Is that something that you ascribe to yourself, or is that something that your agent does, or I mean, how does that?
No, I just kind of got thrown into it. I mean, I started porn when I was 30. I'm 34 now, so I mean that's the normal age that women have moms, and I have come to the conclusion that any woman with large breasts, people are automatically going to think mom because, the whole breastfeeding thing as a child. So I just automatically got put in the MILF category. I don't really care. I don't have kids. I have 2 dogs and a spider. That's it.
Yeah. Have you, at what age were you when, it became obvious that you were going to be quite well endowed?
Question. I didn't get my boobs until I was like 23, I guess. I don't know why. That is always such an awkward question. Like, it just seems like...
Matt just called it!
Like, I didn't listen. Like, you're not
Yo,
the
when
first
your
person to
titties
ask me
start to
that.
grow.
No, I'm just letting you know that's just like, when did you, go through puberty? Like, ew.
Well, yeah. But again, that's something that you very much market yourself with, and I just wanted to know if that was, something that I don't know. Right, scrap the question.
No, I'll tell you. I mean, I've answered it before. No, I didn't get my boobs until I was 23. I was dating this guy, and I get in the fat and happy stage, and I gained a bunch of weight and my tits just got huge. And then like they just pretty much grew from like what was it, like 21, 22, 20, like they grew, like women's breasts grow until they're about 25. And mine really started growing in my 20s, like in high school and stuff. I was like a BC maybe. Like I wasn't really all that big. It wasn't until like my 20s, it's like when my hips would like filled out, all that stuff, yeah.
Yeah. Good answer. So, continuing in that same vein of questioning, we have a question from a fan on Twitter from at Stefan C530 wants to know, has a fan ever done anything crazy to get your attention?
I'm sure, but I probably didn't.
Obviously didn't work.
I mean, like, fans have bought me, like, stuff off my wish list. Like, I get emails and stuff that, like, you know, they always want to meet me. I had one guy email me, ask me if I do bachelor parties. I had another guy who was dying of cancer. That was like 2 years ago. I haven't heard back from him, so I don't know how well that went for him.
What do you do when the guy with cancer reaches out to you?
At first, like, I didn't know if it was real, because I've had, like, you have to be very careful. Like, there's people on Twitter all the time saying that, oh, my brother was in the war and lost a leg, can you send me this? And then, like, you go on their Twitter feed, and then they're tweeting all these other, like, porn stars, you know, different, like, sob stories. And you're just, like, you don't think that people are going to go to your page and read what else you tweet, like, when you're asking for free stuff. So, I mean, that was really nice, and I'm just like, oh, and then he just sent me pictures and stuff, and I was just like, oh, okay, which is, like, really sad, because he was, like, a really big fan, and, like, he had a picture of me, like, for one of my movies with him and stuff. So, like, I sent him, like, a bunch of crap, like, everything that I had, a bunch of pictures, you know.
Yeah. How much of, how you make your living is based on the porn itself, and how much of it is, like, auxiliary, like, fans getting you stuff, you know, being paid to attend at places or speak at places, things like that? I mean, do you get a lot of residual benefits?
The residual, that's not really, that's like blasphemy in porn.
That's what?
No, that's like blasphemy. No, there's actually a lot of ways. There's different affiliate programs. You know, every website and stuff that I shoot for, they have an affiliate program. When a scene comes out, you know, I'll put my link out there, you know, so when people join or whatever to see the scene, you know, I get extra money from that. So that's really nice. There's webcamming. A lot of girls do webcamming. I know I have an account at some, like, phone service thing, but I've never did that because that was just awkward to me. Even webcamming is awkward to me. What else is there? Fans spend money all the time.
So what's you know, I asked this for a lot of porn stars. I mean, is there like an exit strategy, or you kind of invest money, or like, I mean, it's obviously something, you know, maybe apart from like Nina Hartley, that it's hard to
to sustain a full career. Yeah, no, I definitely know that. You know, there's a lot of girls that come into it for like, you know, just a scene or two, just to pay a couple of bills or whatever, and then regret it, you know, down the line when they're trying to marry the governor or something.
Sure.
But yeah, like I got into it, like, knowing, like, I had a 10-year plan, but I was also planning on feature dancing as well. But that didn't. I obviously didn't do very much of that. But I'm actually, like, I plan on retiring sooner than I had thought, just because the industry has changed. Like, it's been changing constantly, and it's getting worse, especially, like, with stuff like Measure B, and then we have, like, organizations like the Free Speech Coalition that, you know, they're not really for performers, they're more for the companies, and performers, like, need a union. Like, they really, really need a union to protect themselves, but they're not strong-minded enough to, like, organize to do it, and with the agents and everything like that, like they would have like let girls work that tried to actually start unions before. So, and I'm a very like honest, straightforward person. I don't really deal with a whole lot of bullshit, and there's a lot of bullshit. So I can only take so much.
What?
And I change jobs all the time.
Well, I wanted to, to ask you, if you could talk a little bit about Measure B and, what your stance is on it and kind of efforts that you're making to repeal it.
Oh, I pretty much stopped trying to do anything with it. I was very against it in the beginning. I wrote a bunch of blogs. I did a bunch of interviews for like Russia TV. I made flyers of my own, and passing them out on my own. Like I made lawn signs to give to people.
And just to explain to the listeners, that's it. I mean, the specifics are right that you have to.
It's mandatory. Yeah, well, it's not just mandatory condom use. It's there's a lot of other like aspects that go with it. They want goggles during blowjob scenes. They want like the directors to go through like a bloodborne pathogens class and stuff, which I actually think that's good. Like that's a good thing. Like some of the things that they said were good. Like I always suggested, I'm like, well, if there's a ton of vaccinations, like make people have to get those vaccinations. Like that just makes sense to me. But there's
I would admittedly be very turned on by a girl if she was about to go down on me and said, "Hold on, let me get my blowjob goggles."
Hold on, I need my blowjob goggles. Yeah, exactly. And
was it the one performing the blowjob that had to wear the goggles, or the one receiving the blowjob?
Both.
Yeah.
It's like a steampunk thing?
Honestly, everyone in the room should be wearing goggles. Safety first. You only live once.
Jessica Drake and Kimberly Kane and David Lord, Gene Steen. I know I'm forgetting some people, but they had made a really cute video of how a porno would look if Measure B had passed. And like all the directors are wearing hazmat suits, which is what was required. First meeting that I went to was in like June of 2010, and it was held by Cal OSHA, and it was just ridiculous. Like the things that they were saying, they're basically trying to turn a porn set into like a medical sterile like area. And like granted, like we sterilize things and we dispose of things properly, but they're just going way over line. It was basically really like ruinous porn.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and then what does that mean for the future, I mean, of the industry? Is it going to probably move to Vegas or what?
I don't think that people are really going to go anywhere. Like a lot of the bigger studios already have like studios in other cities. Like a bunch of places, have studios have studios in Miami. They have them in Fort Lauderdale. They'll have them in Vegas. Hustler, Penthouse, Brazzers, they have them in different states as it is already. They'll just switch over there. I'm sure people are still going to shoot here because it's going to be impossible to enforce. And a lot of times people are shooting in houses that they rent out for the day. And granted, there are lists of houses that people shoot at and stuff, but like directors and stuff tell the girls, don't tweet where you're shooting, or don't tweet that you're shooting. Tweet that you shot, tweet when you're done shooting, when you're already home. You can't like go and try to find you, basically.
Right. Is there any like at any point you or other performers do they ever have any interest in kind of in doing that and revealing who they really are? And obviously there's risks that you just kind of talked about associated with that, but I mean, does it ever get frustrating that you are in some ways literally living like a double life with this other persona?
Well, actually, I perform by my real name.
Oh, do you?
Alia. Yeah, Alia Janine's actually my real name.
That's awesome. That you're like the first performer that I've met that's been the case.
No, there's actually a bunch of performers that go by their real names. It's just they don't tell people. They'll have like a different middle name or something like that, or last name. But yeah, I go by my real name, and most girls, like there's IMDb, if you have a movie in IMDb and you have a 2257 filled out, your real name's up there. Like, if people want to find out who you are, it's not complicated at all. Like, I don't try to hide it at all. Like, I'm not blasting my last name. I mean, I have before, but I don't really care.
Has that ever come back to bite you? I mean, where things maybe outside of the sex work industry that you've tried to be involved with, you've not been able to because of your involvement with porn?
No, not at all. Like, I've done, I do mainstream extra work. I was in a Spike Jones film. It's Her, will come out this year, actually. It comes out this year. It came out last year. Joaquin Phoenix and, like, Amy Adams is in it. No. It hasn't really. And people don't recognize me, really. There's been, like, I can count on one hand how many people have recognized me, like, in public. So, because I dress completely different. And, like, I'm a geek. Like, my hair's naturally curly, and I have glasses. And all my tattoos are normally covered up, so.
A lot of the performers I talk to, actually, they are self-described geeks. And I was wondering, I mean, in high school, was that who you were? Or were you popular? What were you like as a kid? Not to get weird again.
Back to square one here.
No. That's a totally acceptable, unperverted question. I had a bunch of friends in, like, different groups. Like, I went to high school in suburbia Wisconsin, like middle of nowhere Wisconsin. So, like, the preps and the jocks, like, that was very predominant in that school. And it was, like, all white. Like, there was, like, one black guy and, like, one Mexican dude, and that was it. Like, there was no diversity at all. We actually had once a month a diversity day where kids from, like, inner city schools would come out to our school, so we wouldn't freak out when we saw black person. Although I grew up, like, I went to school in the city in Milwaukee from, like, kindergarten till, like, about middle school, and for most of the time I was the only white girl. So when I went to school when there was all white people, only one black person, like, I became friends with that black person right away. I'm like, me and you are friends, because you are my people. Like, I don't understand these crazy fuckers. Yeah. I have a lot of friends in different groups, but I had, like, my little group of friends. We weren't exactly, like, the cool kids, I guess, but I thought I was cool, so I don't really give a fuck.
We got to take a break in a couple of minutes here, but real fast, I had a question that, so I was having sex recently, and I forgot that like, when you see porn, it's very unless you're watching shit and piss videos that we were talking about, it's very clean looking and very sterile looking. But when you're actually having sex, there's smells, and I wanted to know, is there a smell on a porn set, like, that's just overwhelming?
Well, it depends on if the girl douche or not. Like, we take, like, I've heard stories before where, like, girls had left, like, forgot that there was a tampon inside them for, like, 3 days, or, if girls is on a period, we'll use sponges, during a scene, and, like, girls will forget that, and that will, produce the smell. But if you take care of your vagina and you eat well, you should be fine. But there's douches and stuff. Like, I've never really been on a set where I've smelled anything. I heard
gangbang sets are the worst in terms of...
I could probably see that. Definitely. Like, on my, like, it's normal, like, sex smell. There's the smell. You're mixing freaking different bodily fluids. Of course there's going to be smell. Yeah. But, yeah, I don't do gangbangs, but I can imagine.
Yeah.
Very good imagination.
Well, Alia, we gotta take a break, but I'm sorry about the technical difficulties. Would love to have you back on, and if you're ever in San Francisco, definitely stop in the studio.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. Thanks for having me. Sorry that my internet went down.
No, that's all right. If people do want to follow you, though, and find out more about you, where can they do that?
They could do it on the Twitters at Alia_Janine, and my awesome blog, which is AliaJanine.com.
Cool. All right. Thanks so much, Alia.
Thank you.
Bye. All right, you guys. We are going to take a break, and we'll be back in a little bit. This is Full Disclosure on FCC Free Radio.
FCC Free Radio, San Francisco's comedy alternative. Listen online at fccfreeradio.com.
All right. Well, this is Full Disclosure. We're back. I'm Eric Berry. Across from me, we have Jess Cuno.
Hello.
Got it right that time. Matt Louv.
Hey.
And Ben Kolina had to take off. But he's going to text me his shows, and we're gonna pimp him out. So you guys, as I just told you, I wanted to talk about penis size. So I wrote an article last week about penis size for Broke Ass Stewart. And I wrote it between the hours of like 11 p.m. and 5 in the morning. And there was a point at which I realized, like, I can't talk about penis size without just, like, you know, right, full disclosure putting out there. So I happened to find a tape measure at this girl's house. And
You about to tell us how big your dick is?
Huh?
You about to tell us?
Well, yeah, you can read the article if you want, but it was perfect because she happened to have... I was reading the averages and where I fell. And on one of them, I fell on the low average end. And the other one, I just fell below average. And
you have two dicks?
I have two.
What are you measuring?
Well, I measure...
Oh, I get it. Okay.
There's two... Yeah, one I measure from the base to tip. The other I measure from the butthole to the tip.
So you just have a huge taint? Is that... That's the moral of the story? Just have a freakish taint?
But no, there's a point I was like, well, you know, I'm just going to put it out there. I mean, whatever. It was kind of...
Is there a mural on it?
It's a tattoo taint sleeve. Yeah. But the house I was staying at, it was perfect because my ego like went back and forth reading the different measurements or the different averages, and she happened to have both sausages and baby carrots in her fridge. So I definitely incorporated that into the post. But yeah, I wanted to know your guys' perspective on it. If it's something that plays a role in your sex lives. Jess, so on your OkCupid profile, Jess, you call out, right? You mentioned that your partner is well endowed.
Yes.
Okay. I'm curious why you mentioned that.
Because I was getting messages from douchebags basically saying, well, whatever you've got going on, I've got bigger and better. And I'm like, I don't want to test that theory. I don't want to call your bluff because then you'll just try to prove me wrong. And I just didn't want to get those messages anymore. And, you know, honestly, like they haven't really stopped. It's an ongoing thing for me. How can I stop getting fucking retarded messages from assholes?
Do you have casual sex listed as an interest?
That's a great question.
I think I do.
That's
I don't know.
great.
I have to look.
Yeah.
Step 1, remove casual sex as an option.
Right, but it also says I'm not interested in men, so I don't want to take it off.
But your
as an option.
the listing doesn't say that. I think you say that within your profile.
I do.
So when guys
and
like
I
me
get
are
a
drunk,
lot of people yelling at me for that.
well, and when you're drunk at 3 a.m. and you filter by wants casual sex, is interested in men and/or men and women, and ages 18 to 18, and you search, like, you know, people come up. You send some dumb messages.
It's hard. You can't. Online dating is difficult because the more honest you are,
Yeah, I
the
hate it
more
when people
shit
send
you
me
have
sexy
to-
messages all day long. That's the worst.
Well, the more
Different set
shit
of
you have
challenges.
the more shit you have to filter through. You know, like you can be completely 100% honest, and it's still not going to resonate with people. You know, I don't want to discount anything, so I put it in there because it's truth. But apparently that's not good. So
How many messages do you get a day?
I don't know.
Estimate. Over 10?
No,
Over 5?
probably not. A day? No,
Yeah.
fuck no.
Like one or two?
One or two.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I'd say
know
one
girls
or
who
two.
get like 20 messages a day.
Yeah.
And they
that's-
try to complain to me about it. I'm just like, go fuck yourself. I get one a
But you know
month.
what? I'm very curious. Honestly, you've already seen my OkCupid page. If you have an OkCupid page, I really want to know from someone who hasn't messaged me what it says I message as. Because once you've messaged someone, it won't tell you if they reply selectively or if they reply. It won't say that, and they don't give you,
make a dummy account and then you can check
I'm
your
not
page.
gonna do that. That's
It takes 2 seconds.
way too much effort.
You know this.
Instead of
now, don't you?
recruiting a friend to do it, I mean, it just takes like 30 seconds to do it.
I like my recruiting better than making dummy. I'm not gonna make a dummy profile.
I made a dummy profile that was exactly the same as my profile, like all of the information in terms of it's a theater major.
Except it's all catfishy.
No. Listen though, I just changed the pictures and I changed all the gender pronouns, right? And I didn't say I was 6'1". And then I took my friend's pictures, who's an attractive girl, maybe without her permission, and put them all up. It's insane,
isn't it?
Like I got like 20 to 25 messages a day, whereas I get maybe one a month from a girl that's unsolicited. And 90% of the times, the girls that message me are you honestly feel a little bit sad for them, like they're horrendously unattractive. I'm just saying the difference. Whereas I have to send 20 to 25 messages to get one.
What do messages sound like when girls unsolicited reply look for attention from you? What
Very short, no content. In fact, they fall into all of the same hypocritical traps that they criticize men for including in their messages of like, don't just say hi. I'd like the laundry list of critique on every girl's profile is so stupid and offensive of like, you have to talk to me like this. You're not allowed to say hi. You're not allowed to like say this thing. You have to be charming. You have to come up with something creative to say.
Do you ever message these girls?
All the time, yeah.
Why? Why
because
would you do that?
You can't at some point if you get selective on OkCupid about that stuff, then you edit yourself out of the running because it's everybody.
You have to. I don't mass message in the sense that I don't copy and paste anymore. But I understand why.
What's your response rate?
I don't know. I wish. You know what OkCupid should have available to each user is like an analytics report.
Yeah, totally. Like
really
Google Analytics or something. Yeah, that'd be rad. I think my rate of response is probably maybe 15%, 15, 20. Yeah. Maybe 20 on like good days when I'm really trying.
I'd say it's probably between that. Yeah, I'd say 20 would be on the high end for me. I mean, the only reason I started to tailor my messages now is that I just get more personal satisfaction out of writing it than I do out of like hitting copy and paste.
Yeah, I'm sick of it.
How often do you guys go on OkCupid?
Not as much anymore. I just got burnt. It's like, I can get friend zoned in the comfort of my own home now. I don't have to leave the house to get shut down by strangers.
It's I go on a decent amount, but I think that's because like their interface is really addictive, and it's almost like gambling. Like you're like, oh, if you message this girl, you might want to also message this. Maybe this one will work out. And so I mean they're really good at finding out how to keep user engagement up. How often do you go on?
I think my profile still says I'm in LA from last month. So
let's see.
It's been a month, maybe. Maybe I went on to try to. I had a OkCupid date with a girl in Oakland, and I gave her my number because I don't like talking to people in messages. I'm like, listen, if you're interested, I think you seem cool. You obviously are interested enough to try to meet up with me. Here's my number. Text me. Let's do something. And so I couldn't for the life of me remember who this person was. Like I didn't remember her name's Sarah, but I don't remember what her screen name was, what she looked like, anything. And so we're here at this like huge event. And I'm like, how the fuck am I going to recognize this person? So yeah, that was, and I was like, I haven't, talked to her on OkCupid in months. I didn't know.
This is an actual message I got from a girl. And
hey,
this is,
wink.
This is actually no. Her message was. Here's the thing: is I don't get shitty messages from girls, but I I get ones that, I mean, it's just clearly not going to work out with us, and it is for like physical reasons, but then I feel even worse, and I've actually written back to, I'd say, at least half of them, and like, hey, you sound like a great person. I just don't think we're going to be compatible, blah, blah. Like thinking like, I'm going to, again, take like the honest, not leave them hanging approach that we deal with. And usually they'll end up blocking me.
Right.
Wait,
But I'm
you
like,
can block people on
oh, yeah.
OkCupid?
Yes.
No way.
Yeah. So this is a very nice message. She says, you have an interesting profile, although to be honest, I almost didn't make it past squeezing toothpaste from the bottom up. That alone is almost good enough to stand on its own. I also approve of your dressing up as the most interesting man in the world. Every once in a while, I seem to find myself in the city. I think it'd be cool to kick it with you sometime. Then the little cat ears thingy.
What?
I don't know. What do you call it? The little that thingy?
Oh, it's like the anime smile thing.
Is that what that's supposed to be? A Chinese person smiling?
Chinese. That's animes from Japan.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. Hope you're having a great Wednesday. But this is the kind of the caliber generally, and sometimes it's a little better and sometimes it's a little worse, but of girl, and I'm just, not, and I'll get like one of those a month. And that's...
She's cute. What are you talking about? What's wrong with her?
She's
amid the sea of models and like potential porn stars, and yeah,
I don't know. I mean, she seems...
Eric is not physically attracted to her.
Yeah, I'm not physically attracted to her, but she's available if you are.
I mean, I think that's kind of premature before you even meet somebody.
What? Not to be physically attracted to them? That's not going to change.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm so not a man. This is insane. Because I was just talking to you about this. My physical attraction towards somebody will vary greatly on my other level, like my other types of attractions to them. Like if they have other attractive qualities rather than just the physical, I will be a lot more physically attracted to them. And
that's the case with most girls. And this sounds like phrenology and hack science, but the female sexual brain is very different than the male sexual brain, and it's more sophisticated, and it works in that way. Ours does not. Ours is very visual.
But let's also get down to the logistics of if I have to spend an evening typically where like the man is courting a woman, aka buying drinks and or dinner or whatever, being the poor person that I am, and also just like the amount of time that would take, like I'm gonna want to do that with someone that I'm presumably already physically attracted to just off of looks alone. Like, why, not to sound like a dick, but why work even harder on top of all that other stuff to gain an attraction for someone?
I guess I just don't see the act of going out on the date, that much work. You're just hanging out. You're just being social.
At the very least, it's a lot of money.
It's usually work on our end.
That's awful. I'm
it
so
totally
sorry.
is. So it's totally awful.
And it's expensive. I told you about, I mean, this is the same night I got punched in the face. But the girl, same night, girl who punched me in the face was from a previous week's date, but was stalking me. You were there. You were at Milk. Mm-hmm. You talked to her.
Yeah,
actually, I would love to know your
not knowing the.
Oh my God, I forgot about that part. So we were at Milk, and Matt was there. You were performing, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this girl that punched me in the face that we talked about last week was also talking to Matt, and had previously during that week also went on a date with Andrew Holmgren. But anyway, and then the date that I was with at the time reveals to me at the Gold Cane that she in fact has a boyfriend and only messaged me back. This is after 5 messages to coordinate a drink because she felt sorry for me and that I should get a real job. And I said,
and then you did not punch her in the face.
Oh no, I did not. And I said that would have been nice to know after I bought you 3 rounds of drinks.
She let you buy 3 drinks.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she said, what do you want? Money? Here, I can give you $14. And I'm like, well, and here's the point.
The answer is yes.
Here's the point where most women expect guys to be like, oh no, forget it. They're gonna they're whatever. They're gonna have too much pride for that. And I was like, well, first of all, I actually spent $17 on drinks for you. And she's like, you honestly want me to give you $17? I said, yeah, I do. Were you honestly offering it to me, or were you just doing that as a social gesture to make yourself look like the better person in the situation? Mm-hmm. And so I ended up taking the $17, at which point she, stormed out, and I was leaving as well, and then the girl who punched me in the face was outside,
waiting.
The girl who I was on
her knuckles.
The girl who I was on the date with, now pissed off at me, said, "Is this the girl? Is this the one you went on the date with last week? Is this the one that you said was a cunt?" And that's what led to me getting punched in the face. So it was really some nice coordination between the two of them that led to that.
You got Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. Yeah, so she was weird.
Yeah, I mean, hey, she might, if you want to follow up on that.
No, I'm not in the habit of dating girls who punch my friends in the face.
Well, before I got punched in the face, a few days prior, Andrew messaged me. He's like, I think I went on a date with a girl you went on a date with. And he said she seemed to be totally nice and was fine.
Mm-hmm.
So, who knows? But, yeah. I never thought I'd be the one spitting blood all over Hate Street. I've seen it many times, but it was me. So, Jess.
Yes. Are we back to dick size?
Yep.
Or are we? Okay, excellent.
Stay in the course. So is that an important factor for you?
No. It's
despite your OkCupid profile?
Well, that was to weed out certain level of interest I was getting. Like, I literally got messages saying, "Oh, hey, we're at this bar now. This is what my dick looks like." I'm like, "No, don't. I'm not interested in seeing that. Thank you. I appreciate it." And it helped. It helped slightly. I still get really random insulting, what I would consider insulting things, but it's not so much a factor for me. I mean, it can be kind of intimidating when guys come to girls and say, "Hey, this, like, I have a really big dick." It's like, what am I supposed to do with that information? Like, that intimidates me. That's like, okay, so great.
See,
Yay.
that's the difference. That's the difference perfectly illustrated. Of, like, if some girl I had never met sent me a picture of her breasts, I wouldn't have a choice anymore. I would be interested, but it's like, but you need context.
That's breast. What if someone just sends you like a close-up of their cunt?
Something more scandalous.
Right. I'd be like, okay, I kind of don't want to see that. I do not even know what has been in that lately. If you're sending me this random person.
What's been in their penis?
No, a cunt. I'm talking about if someone just gave you a close-up of their cunts, how would you perceive that? Because, I mean, that's kind of what the dick pictures are. If they sent me a nice, like, chest picture, that'd be a different story.
When I was in high school, I exclusively tried to look at big pictures of vaginas because I couldn't figure out where the pee hole was and all the diagrams you'd see. It was so confusing. Yeah, I mean, it's
a mirage.
In the diagrams, they made it seem so clear, and then I'd look at these pictures. We had this whole debate though about how many holes girls had, and my
a debate.
Yeah, I think I've talked about this on stage, but I thought that girls pee out of their vagina, and that they had two holes. They had the vagina and the asshole. Then there's the 3-hole camp, which was the urethra, the vagina, and the asshole. There's the 4-hole camp, which was the vagina, the urethra, the asshole, and the clit hole.
What?
Yeah. Well, this is when we're in 7th grade.
Clit hole.
But my favorite was Evan Lopes, who believed that women had one hole, that they pissed out of their asses.
You know what? My older brother, who's 6 years older than me, when I was a little kid, convinced me that when women pee, they have a secret penis that comes out of their descends out of their butthole. And then I went and asked my mom about it.
And what did she said? Yep.
She had some very political answer.
Yeah.
Dodged.
Yeah. But I like the extension of that, which would mean that women shit babies out. That's where you come from. But anyway, where was I going with this? Oh yeah, big vagina pictures. That was a thing for me.
How would you feel now if someone sent you a close-up of their vagina?
It would, like, out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Without it, yeah, that would. I see
right.
your point.
In the actual mail, like you open up an envelope and
that's like so stupid that's a common thing for guys to just like unsolicitedly send their penis everywhere, because it's like that's why no one responds to messages partially.
I don't get it.
You're so shell shocked.
I really don't. I think it's in part supposed, right? It's tied in with masculinity, and I'm not saying that it does something for the woman, but men tie that in
I think
to
that's
their
a
own
big part of
masculinity.
it.
And so if you have a big dick, you want to be like showing it off.
And I mean, I know there are a lot of women looking for that. I know there's a lot of women looking for that, but I don't know. It just seems like such a gamble to just assume that's what women want and go for it, because I think people end up scaring.
Well, so on the other end, and I mean, I think men fuck everything up in some. Not to set Matt
That's
off,
sexist.
What does that mean? Setting me
but
off.
no. Well, you have strong opinions.
Do I?
Yeah.
About what?
Everything. Sex, women, gender dynamics.
You can't paint me into this weird misogynist corner.
Okay. What I was gonna say is that in the gay culture and like in doing, escorting, which has always been with like other men, they'll frequently ask, "How big is your dick? Send me a dick pic." So it's clearly something that gay men, are very interested in, and I think that that's in part because they want to feel that the partner they're with is more masculine than they are, and that for men is frequently attributed to things like dick size. Does that make some sense?
It makes sense. I'm also like a bad girl to ask because I'm not like strictly interested in penises. So
Right. Right. I don't know, Matt, have you ever encountered girls that have been like particularly interested in that?
In what?
And particularly concerned with penis size?
If they were, they didn't bring it up.
Yeah.
have you ever asked?
No.
I never know what to say when a guy asks me about his penis size. I was like,
I don't. Who's like asking that question anymore? There's the internet. I understand that question in
it's
the
a personal
50s.
it's a personal question. It's not like, hey, how's my penis size compared to
But
other
there's
guys?
science.
It's like, how is
there's
it for you?
statistics. There's actually a mean that you can look up.
But even that is because when I was writing that article last week, like some of it's self-reported, which is always higher than when they've actually had people go and measure it. But also the people who are willing to go out there to whip their dicks out and have some scientists, measure it.
That's true.
Like living in the co-ops in Berkeley, it was very frequent. There was entire houses that were themed around nudity, and I was all for that, at least at the time, and I would partake a decent amount. But everyone else who did it always had the hugest fucking dicks, and I feel like it's like the same. Like, of course, the guy with the ripped abs is going to be the guy who wants to take his shirt off all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was consistently, and again, I fall within the average. I was consistently the guy with the smallest dick. So
See, I would say a majority of the nudist situations I've been in are all people above the age of 50, and they don't look.
You
that
either
great.
buy a Harley or you take your clothes off when you hit a certain age.
all right. You got some news stories over there, Jess?
I do have some news, and now you're gonna make me turn things on, and
I'm gonna show Matt your OkCupid profile if that's okay with you. Well,
I'm
gonna tear it apart.
do it. I mean, yes, you can tear it apart from the editorial.
I want to
point.
actually know. Yeah, I actually want. If you didn't know this was yours, it'd be interesting to hear his thoughts.
All right, following SOP, look at the photos first.
It's true, but I know women do that too. Like you're not.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%.
I did this to Ryan Papazian once. He pulled up his OkCupid profile. It was hilarious.
It still says you're down in LA.
I know it still says I'm down in LA. I really should do something about that. I really should do something about that. Fuck, I lost my. All right. Well, the news report that I was most excited about, I can't pull up right now because my phone hates me. But let's see. In health news, more exercise and less TV may boost a man's fertility. They did a study taking away TV and exercising, a study with males between the ages of 18 and 22, and gave them an exercise regimen of more than 14 hours a week, and they have decided that they have more potent sperm, both in quality and in quantity.
You mean being fit and healthy and not sitting on your balls all day?
Yeah,
wow.
Apparently that will increase your fertility. And they took some other factors into account that might decrease fertility, but not all factors. So basically, it's just kind of a hokey, do things that are good for you fucking bullshit study. But it was noteworthy enough to publish. So guys out there, if you believe in the sanctity of your sperm, exercise and stop watching 20 hours of TV a week.
I am curious, like, who underwrites these studies. Like, someone had to have a theory.
It's probably pharmaceutical companies.
Yeah, probably. But no, I mean, yeah, along with a million other things, of course, working out is better for you than sitting in front of the TV. What else you got? I have
Victoria's Secret responded positively to a petition that was circulated through the website change.org from a lady named Elena Maiden, whose mother was a breast cancer survivor and had a very difficult time finding bras that fit after her mastectomy. And Victoria's Secret's response was to consider doing a line of special needs bras for breast cancer survivors. Unfortunately, this article has not given any indication whether Victoria's Secret has a actual prototypes made up or when that line might be out, but it is something that they're considering.
May I point out right now, and maybe this is weird, you are vice gripping your breast right now.
I like boobies.
You are just like torquing the shit out of your boob.
It's I do that when I'm concentrating on things. It's embarrassing when I do it at work because there's this ledge that I had. I would lean up and it fit right here, and I would be grabbing this one, and people would walk up. They'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
I've never seen anybody do that, but
really,
it's cool.
It's this muscle right here.
Yeah,
it's pretty great.
I get it.
Feels nice.
It's your,
just don't smell your hand afterwards.
Your pectoral muscle.
Yeah, but it goes. I mean, and then you got boob right under there.
Muscle.
The titty muscle. Yeah, you got boob right under there. So anyway, it's fitting. Victoria's Secret.
I'm really looking forward to seeing that sexy commercial that they come out with for that bra.
Yeah, that I'm sure will be a super sexy commercial. I wonder if they'll ever put anything like that in their fashion show. I'm sure they'd get a lot of funding from Pink Lines, all the breast cancer survival agencies.
There would be a smart money move to do for them.
It would. All right, let's see. So the Contra Costa Times reporters Malika Farley and, God, I suck at names, Matthias Scafani were awarded the Northern California 28th Annual James Madison Award for their stories about the reporting of handling a sex abuse allegations in Moraga in the 90s. So I thought that was very, very interesting.
So I didn't follow that. What happened?
Two reporters from the Contra Costa Times won an award.
Okay.
The name of the award is long and drawn out. The Society of Professional Journalists of Northern California's 28th Annual James Madison Award for a story that they had reported about sex abuse in a school in Moraga.
So they exposed this?
They did.
Okay.
They did. And they just won an award for it.
Well, good for them.
They will be...
Keep up the good work.
Brought up, I guess they're being presented with the award at a banquet on March 12th in San Francisco. So if you are in support of sex journalism, there you go. And the biggest news article that I was excited about, I'm freaking not pulling up at a fast enough rate, and I don't have the internet on my laptop.
Oh.
But 4 people were arrested for defying the San Francisco nudity ban on February 1st. And last week, I was all up in arms that the judge had not ruled yet whether he would uphold it or not. And then 2 days before it came in effect, he said, yes, we are upholding the nudity ban. And so a very small group of people, what was it, 6 people? No. So 4 people were arrested, but a very small group of people were protesting on the courthouse steps. And the 4 people who were completely nude were told to either put pants on or disperse. And they decided to do neither, so they were arrested, which is interesting to me because the nudity ban was supposed to only cite you up to $100, but 4 people got arrested. So I would be interested to see as to what the judge rules for them
Do they put like plastic lining on the back of the cop car before they throw them in there? Or like the doctor's office, like just butcher paper on a
That would be smart because I don't know if you guys are into nudist culture or not, but it's very customary and almost expected for nudists to bring their own towels to sit on.
Well, that was that whole thing. Here's the thing, like there's beta breakers, stuff like that. That's fine. Like I'm not personally really offended by nudity, but I just think the term, decency, like the guys in the Castro, it is pretty out of control. Like I've seen them there, and they'll go into restaurants, and like I don't want, think about the level that you're eating your pho at, and there's a dong, 3 inches away from that. It's like it's indecent, and also I don't know if I was them, I wouldn't want the potential for hot soup.
Well, I mean, isn't that the prerogative of the restaurant to be like, we reserve the right to refuse service to anyone we see fit?
But then who has purview over the public space?
Like, if I'm a patron in that restaurant, I'm not. Well, there's some sanitary concerns about it. I mean, that's why that whole thing happened. Where I forget what it was called, but bringing their own towel around.
The original controversy was that they wanted them to put a barrier between their bare asses and public benches, right?
Right, which is, again, customary with most nudist groups everywhere.
Mm-hmm. But there was a big outcry about that, which I found silly, that people were offended that even that was expected of them. I just feel like if you go so far afield to break what is considered the social contract, you can't present yourself as a victim or a martyr when people respond in extreme ways to you, or just expect the most basic level of compliance with request of like, put a newspaper down before you get your balls on the bench. And then that is considered oppression, please.
Yeah. I mean, I feel the same way.
Same with, if you're sitting inside a restaurant and there's just a forest of dong outside the restaurant, there's windows, there's a certain amount of credibility to be lent to the idea of the social contract.
But I mean, your forest of dong. It's not like people are walking around waving shit in the windows. But and that goes with what the obscenity laws were before. They were doing something. I think even the act of flashing could be considered obscene because you're doing it to make other people uncomfortable. You're doing it to get a specific reaction. Whereas nudists who are just hanging out, going in somewhere to get a cup of coffee, they're not doing it with the express purpose of making people uncomfortable. They feel that it's their right to be naked.
I think they're trolling a little bit.
I do. I think, and I
mean, that's different than, like waving your penis around. And that's why, the obscenity laws were there. If someone was just sitting there waving their junk around for whatever reason, that's considered crossing the line. But just existing, even if psychologically you are saying, yep, I'm going to go around taking people out of their comfort level today. Even so, like,
I think that if we existed in a society, or let's say San Francisco was a city where everybody walked around naked and that was the standard, I think some part of the personality of those people would turn them into people who are walking around wearing jeans.
That's very possible, but the fact of the matter is we were the type of city where it could have been the norm for us to all walk around naked. There was nothing stopping anyone from doing it. Now it will never be.
What's the basis of the law? What's the reasoning behind it?
That Castro was becoming a problem.
No.
That was why that whole thing even got brought up in the first place. Which is like they said it in more than one news article. It's pretty public knowledge that the Castro was becoming a problem. All the naked guys in the Castro were becoming a problem.
So I would be down with public nudity if you were legally mandated to donate the clothes you weren't wearing to homeless people.
That would be amazing.
That's what my whole reaction to this controversy is, that there are real problems in the city, and it's such a boutique, not fatuous issue, but niche issue. It's such a tiny niche issue that means everything to a tiny amount of people.
I don't know. It really bummed me out. It really, really bummed me out.
Well, also the thing on the steps, they were provoking the police, and that's not a justified consequence, but that's a consequence that has to be accepted when you do stuff like that, of defying authority structures.
Very true.
They reinforce their authority structure. Has to be expected.
I don't know. I think they could have done it better. I think they could have done it
but they
differently.
never have.
Because it was their right. It was their right to assembly. You know, like they had every right to be there. And as per what they were doing, that was currently illegal. They should have gotten fined. Arrested, I don't know. Like if it says in the law you will get fined for this, and they got arrested for it, I wonder what's going to happen now when that goes to court. When those people go to trial, what's going to happen if they're going to, you know? I mean, obvious. I don't know.
Do you consider yourself a nudist?
Sometimes.
I'm curious, just from a practical standpoint. Like you'll see those guys walking around Castro, and they have to have their man purses to carry things around, and it just seems like you're not you, but like one is really going out of their way for something that's more of a hassle than anything. And they'll do
why
it
would
on
it be
really
a hassle?
cold
Because you
days,
had to
too.
carry a bag. I mean, I carry a bag anyway.
They're trolling is the point. Is that they're doing it to make a point and provoke, and people can't get.
I wish we can get one of the naked guys at Castro to call in and
That's actually great. You know what?
why.
That's a great idea. We'll have them on. We'll get one of them for a show. Actually, one of them, my friend took a picture with one of them months ago, and he wanted her to email to him. So she has his email. She didn't email to him, but she didn't want him having her email. But I have his email. Someone doesn't want to give out their number or whatever, they don't have to.
That's true, but here you are sitting here, you know, saying, "Oh, if you want information, just create a dummy account, just create fake shit." You know how many email, like how easy it is to get an email that you'll never use again, just a disposable one.
Yeah, but it was to do him a favor to get the whatever. I have his email somewhere. How about the one where the man got rid of his dog? Owner sends gay dog to be euthanized. So, yeah.
Dude, that is a gay ass dog.
So, basically, the story here is that this guy saw his dog humping another male dog, and based upon that, sent him to be euthanized. And I don't know if he openly stated that as the reason to the vet clinic, but somehow this leaked into social media, and they started a campaign to save the dog, and the dog has been placed in a new home. But happy ending, kind of perfect story all around. Yeah, I don't know. Dogs hump anything though. You know, I don't know. I
don't even know how to make a joke about that. It's just totally astonishing.
I'm assuming that's the dog. It's the cutest fucking dog in the world.
He should have sent the dog to like one of those pastors.
Right, to convert it.
The dog shows back up wearing a polo shirt.
Yeah.
I love my wife.
Stop humping other male dogs and get back to just eating shit and licking your own asshole like a normal straight dog. Cake owner, what do you call it? Like a cakery? Just refused to make a lesbian wedding cake, and then got in a bunch of trouble for that. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on that. It's the person's business, obviously, to make whatever cakes they want.
What kind of trouble did they get in?
Just being shaming, public shaming, which also seems like that's a fair response. You know, people can decide not to. It's like the Chick-fil-A thing. People can decide not to frequent that place if they want to. Any you guys have any thoughts on that?
Dick move.
Where was it?
In Oregon, actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did the patisserie owner have any reasons other than because they were gay?
I didn't actually watch the video, but I just skimmed through the article. I just realized kind of this guy, when you said patisserie, I'm like, this guy makes cakes for a living. Like, you'd think that would be the first person to be amenable to some gay marriage.
I would love it if it turns out that he couldn't make the cake because he didn't know how to make vegan cakes.
Yeah, actually, it says an Oregon baker could be facing legal action after turning away a lesbian couple who sought a cake for their forthcoming wedding. Yeah, and also Oregon's not the place where you'd think that would happen.
Definitely not.
Oh. All right, you guys. Well, you got anything more on your end, Jess?
Nope, that's all I got.
Okay. I think we're winding things down here then.
Oh, wait, no, I have more. This
Okay.
isn't news. This is self-promotion. This is like...
Is this a plug?
This is a plug. This is a Jessica plug. This isn't a comedy plug. This is a sex plug.
There is such a thing as a sex plug.
Let me tell you about sex plugs. So this weekend, there's an erotic art show going on. I should probably pull up the information. Oh, God damn it. I can't do it there. But anyway, I am going to be helping out with this erotic art show on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
And that's February 8th, 9th, and 10th.
Yes, it is. It's in honor of Valentine's Day, and we do it twice a year. It's called On the Edge. You can go to eroticartshow.com to get more information. But it starts, I believe, at 7 o'clock on Friday night, and it will be in the evening, Friday and Saturday. And then Sunday, it's $5 to get in, just to keep riffraff away. But Sunday will be the free day, and it opens at, I believe, 2 p.m., noon or 2 p.m. And yeah, you guys should all go check it out. It's amazing. Let me find the address, if I can find the address.
While you're doing that, this is a question. I think I might actually. I'm trying to look at my bicep because it keeps twitching, and I don't know if that's like the shakes or something.
I don't
you guys
think
ever
so.
had-
You have to stop researching so much, dude.
I don't know. I thought that was something that happens to people when they're older.
So they changed the name
Whoa,
of
it's really going.
Yeah.
You're probably going to die.
Have you been doing a lot of like arm?
Are you wearing
exercises?
your vasectomy bra?
No, I drink a lot though, and then I don't drink.
I don't think that's that looks like it's more of you work the muscle and it's having reaction.
It was definitely not working the muscle.
All right. Well, anyway, the gallery, they changed the name of it a couple years back, but it's Gallery 4N5, and it's at 863 Mission. If you guys know where the Good Vibrations is on Mission Street between 4th and 5th, it's right next door to it. So, yeah, I'm going to be in the fashion show Saturday night at 7:30. People should come down. It's awesome. There's lots of naked pictures of people up. There's going to be probably naked pictures of me up. So there you go. That's my plug.
Cool. Matt,
Yo.
what do you got going on?
What do I have going on? Fuck. I'm starting a show weekly next month.
And this is different than the Friend Zone.
Yes. It's the opposite of the Friend Zone. It's called the Mission Position. And it's going to be every Thursday night.
Is it actually called the Mission Position?
It's called the Mission Position. Not named by me, but...
Yeah. Is it at all related to the podcast?
Yeah, it's Matt's and Kate's, Matt Louv and Kate Willett's baby.
Yeah.
And they're letting me hold the baby. So it's going to start March 7th every Thursday night at Lost Weekend Video in the Mission.
Very, very cool. Do you have when's the next Friend Zone coming up?
Next month, first Saturday of next month.
Cool.
Yeah.
For me, you're at Matt Louv on Twitter.
At Matt Louv. Yep.
Cool. Follow me on Twitter at Eric Berry, Berry with an A. In a couple of weeks at Milk on February 26th, we're gonna have Chris Fairbanks headlining the show. He's coming up from LA.
Whoa.
Yeah.
At Milk?
Uh-huh.
Dude, that guy rules.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. So we will have tickets for that that you can find info out on my Twitter at Eric Berry or at ericberrycomedy.com. Otherwise, you guys, I think that's it. I think we're gonna bring this to a close here. But thank you so much for coming in again, Jess.
Thank you for having me again.
And Matt.
Thanks.
And Ben Kolina. Thank you to him. Thank you to Alia, Janine, and Ben wanted me to promote a couple shows. You can catch Ben February 15th at Tap 25 in Livermore, and February 16th at Good Times in the Grotto. Free beer show. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for listening. You can catch us every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on FCC Free Radio. Jesus. Till then, be well and
drink some piss.
Be loved.
You're listening to FFR,
Radio for the people, by the people.